Still stuck in Spiral Abyss? Getting wrecked by Stygian Onslaught? Worried you'll burn out before you're strong enough? Or just overwhelmed by Genshin's massive, ever-growing roster of characters? Watch until the end. This video will arm you with the knowledge you need to prepare for Genshin Impact's endgame. Hello and welcome. I'm Lionmight. I'm a professional composer, music producer, and Genshin enjoyer. In this video, I'll reveal the methods I personally use to keep my account future ready for Genshin Impact's toughest endgame challenges. And no, it's not just about swiping. This approach works whether you're F2P or a whale. If you're serious about eventually conquering Spiral Abyss Floor 12, Imaginarium Theater's Visionary Mode, or even Stygian Onslaught's Fearless, or perhaps Dire Difficulty, this one's for you. Disclaimer: Endgame is called Endgame for a reason. This isn't meant for beginners or AR30 accounts still running blue artifacts. This is for players who plan to stick with Genshin Impact for years and want to slowly shape their account to handle anything the game throws at them. Let's also be clear, I'm not here to tell you exactly what to do with your characters or your account. That's your decision to make. What you'll see here is a deep dive into my own long-term method, what's worked, what hasn't, and how I've managed to consistently clear Spiral Abyss, unlock Visionary Imaginarium Theater, and tackle Stygian Onslaught. Take what sparks ideas for your own journey and leave the rest. Before anything else, you need to find your why. Why do you play Genshin Impact? Most Genshin players fall somewhere in these four types. Meta chaser, loves optimization and beating content fast. Comfort first, prioritizes smooth, brain-off gameplay. Casual meta enjoyer, mixes efficiency with favorites. And waifu/husbando collector, pulls and builds based on vibes. And maybe you're a combination of all these. It's up to you to identify which of these priorities matter most to you. Make your elemental tier list. Now on to our first step. Before you build anything further, take stock of what you actually enjoy using. Pick 8 to 10 characters per element, your dream roster, but treat this like a wish list, a vision board of sorts. They don't all have to be strong, they just have to be your choices. This is not your final build plan. You're not committing to builds yet. You're just mapping the future. And yes, mine includes some unpopular picks, but also some hyper-invested favorites. Usable versus maxed. Know the difference. There's a huge gap between usable and maxed for endgame. Usable means level 70 plus, main talents at level 6, decent artifacts, and viable weapon. Maxed means level 90, talents 8 to 10, fully invested artifacts with optimized substats, and a signature weapon or optimized alternative. This is also where constellations come into play, if you decide someday that they're worth the investment. Some rough minimum stats to keep in mind for DPS units: at least 60% plus crit rate, 120% plus crit damage, and 1,500 plus attack for attack scalers, 30,000 plus HP for HP scalers, 1,500 plus def for def scalers, 800 plus EM for elemental mastery scalers. This might still fall short depending on the meta, so treat this as baselines, not goals. I also recommend using stat calculators to find your optimal build for specific characters. Horizontal versus vertical investment, and why balance is key. Let's define both. Horizontal investment means wide roster, Lots of characters at basic usability. Vertical investment means deep power. A few characters maxed out. They serve different endgame goals. Imaginarium Theater rewards horizontal building. 22 plus usable characters for Visionary mode. Spiral Abyss and Stygian Onslaught reward vertical power plus tight and efficient comps. But it's not about choosing one over the other. It's about depth where you need it and width where it helps. It's all about balance. You might have 5 hyper-invested mains, 15 usable supports, 20 fillers for elemental coverage. It's not about maxing everyone. It's about having the right tools when the time comes. You can love everyone, but you can only afford to max a few. Choose your long-term mains with confidence and build them steadily so you're always ready for whatever the game throws at you. And yes, vertical investment takes time. Artifact RNG sucks. Talent books are resin traps. Signature weapons aren't always available. And constellations, oh boy, let's not even get there. So, pace yourself. Let's talk about that. Sustainable pacing, one build at a time. One character per patch. That's the magic pace. It lets you stay consistent without burning out, especially with resin, books, and Mora caps. If you can't even do one per patch, that's fine too. Just don't stop entirely. Keep chipping away at someone. Remember, your tier list is wide, but your actual roster will be narrow. In practice, most players will only build 10 to 14 core units over the long term. After building your 10 to 14 core units, you now have the luxury to keep expanding your roster. Invest deep, but smart. If you're still unsure whether to build someone to 80 or 90, here's what I do. Full DPS units, always 90. Supports with HP, EM, or def scaling, often worth taking to 90. Filler or rotating units, 70 to 80 is fine. Sometimes even 60 to 70. It's also worth noting that 5 stars generally scale better than 4 stars. No matter how much you invest, most 4 stars have a lower ceiling, especially in raw damage output. Only 5 stars, especially modern DPS, ascend with crit rate or crit damage, giving them a natural edge. There are exceptions, but this is the general rule. Team Archetypes, the real endgame fun. Personally, team building is my favorite part of Genshin. Mixing and matching, finding synergy, it never gets old. Here are the most common and strongest archetypes in current endgame pre-Nod Cry. Melt, Cryo plus Pyro. Vape, Hydro plus Pyro. Freeze, Cryo plus Hydro. Overload, Electro plus Pyro. Hyper Carry, one main DPS fully invested surrounded by buffers. Great for vertical builds like Spiral Abyss. Electro Charge, Electro plus Hydro. Wheelchair, Flex Pick supported by overpowered off-fielders. And Hyperbloom, Dendro plus Hydro plus Electro. Pro tip, focus your vertical investment into stronger archetypes like Melt, Vape, and Freeze. These tend to scale well with investment and benefit greatly from artifact domains. But remember, the meta always shifts, and the strongest team will change over time. Stay adaptable and be ready to pivot your resources into whatever archetypes your favorite characters and the current content demand. But who's worth investing in? Old versus new. Who's worth it? I still love many older units, especially comfort picks and classic teams like the national team. And yes, they can still work in modern content with enough love and investment. But real talk, Hoyoverse has clearly learned a lot about kit design, especially from Fontaine and Natlan onwards. Characters like Farina, Mawika, Citlali, and Escoffier are masterclasses in synergy, utility, and long-term scaling. If you truly want long-term value, the reality is, newer characters are safer bets. But if you love an older character, go for it. Just be ready to work harder for similar results. Pull smart. Don't chase every shiny new thing. Think about synergy and long-term value. Your tier list helps you know who you're saving for. Your team comps give you clarity. This isn't impulse. It's planning. It's strategy. Think months, not days. By the way, if you're F2P and got constellations or signature weapons through smart saving, flex in the comments. You're living proof that long-term power can be earned with planning and patience. At the same time, let's show some love to the whales. Some players work hard in real life, and this is how they choose to enjoy their success. Their support helps keep the game going, and we all benefit from that. Whether you spend nothing or go all in, there's no right way to play. Only your way. Understand the endgame modes. Genshin's endgame isn't just Spiral Abyss anymore. We now have 3 core late-game combat modes. Spiral Abyss, the original one, time-limited challenge, built around single target and AoE split teams. You need at least 8 well-built units, 2 teams of 4 for full clears, ideally with solid synergy and vertical investment. These can be your most maxed units, as Spiral Abyss has tough DPS and survival checks, especially in Floor 12. Imaginarium Theater, rotating roster limits plus bonus buffs, requires wide coverage and adaptability. Visionary mode typically requires a minimum of 22 unique characters since roster slots are locked per trial and stages demand coverage across all elements and roles. These units don't have to be maxed. Level 70 to 80, main talents at level 6, and serviceable artifacts is enough for most filler or utility roles, while your core 8 to 12 should remain highly invested. If you're aiming for the toughest rewards or perfect clears, the wider your roster, the more flexible your strategy. This is where the tier list vision board comes in handy. Imaginarium Theater already pushes players to have a wide roster. And who knows, Hoyoverse might one day expand it further, asking for even more characters than we use today. The good news is, by thinking horizontally and future-readying your builds now, you'll be ready for whatever higher difficulties they throw our way. And finally, Stygian Onslaught, the newest endgame mode. Timed challenge with scaling difficulty and bonus objectives including Dire, the hardest content yet. This mode rewards vertical investment even more severely. Each cycle wants your 3 most synergistic and specialized teams, all with artifact and talent investment at or near cap. You can get by with less, but to hit the top tier of Onslaught difficulty, your best teams must be thoroughly optimized. As mentioned, level 90, 8 to 10 talents, strong artifacts, signature or optimized weapons, and potentially, sometimes, constellations as well. This mode will put all your skills and planning to the test. And this is no joke, even whales struggle to clear dire difficulty, so you can consider this mode as one of your ultimate end goals in your long-term planning. This video is a preparation guide, not a combat guide. I'm helping you get your account ready, not teaching rotations. That can be a separate video though. And yes, I cleared Dire, but I'm not in the top 1%. I just consider myself as an intermediate player who put the right pieces and investments together. But this video is about you, not me. Embrace challenges and setbacks. Not every endgame mode is meant to be conquered right away. Sometimes, you'll hit a wall. Maybe you're short on characters for theater, or your core team can't quite beat dire Stygian Onslaught yet. That's not a loss. It's a challenge. A goalpost for where your account can grow next. Use it as motivation to refine your builds and widen your roster, not as a reason to burn out or quit. Future-ready building means playing the long game, knowing you'll be ready in time. For example, you have to be realistic with your expectations. Clearing Stygian difficulty level 4 can already be a big accomplishment for many players. Once you overcome that, raise your goalpost to Fearless level 5 by applying the vertical investment tips I shared earlier. Later on, as you keep strengthening your core teams, dire difficulty could become your next big boss goalpost. Be patient, be realistic, and take these milestones one step at a time. Use selective leaks to plan ahead. Leaks are controversial, and that's fair. Story spoilers can ruin a patch, and some leaks are just plain wrong. But when it comes to banner planning, I believe leaks can be helpful if used wisely. I personally follow HomDGCat and a few others I trust. My advice? Avoid story or quest leaks. Use banner leaks only to guide your savings. Don't treat them as guarantees. Treat them as early warnings. I've lost count of how many times my banner pulling plans were influenced by banner leaks, in a good way, especially in optimizing your desired team comps. Artifact strategy. Good enough is better than perfect. Here's what I've learned. Consider farming domains with 2 good sets for your teams, such as Marechaussee Hunter and Golden Troop for Furina teams. Aim for good enough, that sweet spot where the piece does 80% of what you need without grinding hundreds of resin for the last 20%. This is something you can do further down the line when you feel your teams are already complete. If your set has the correct main stats and 3 decent substats, that's a keeper. Don't reroll forever chasing plus 40% crit damage. That is pure luck. Efficiency means knowing when to stop. Your account is a toolbox. You're building a toolbox full of solutions for future problems that Hoyo keeps throwing our way. You don't need to own every character. You don't need to max everything now. You just need to know what tools you want and give yourself time to build them. And here is my personal tier list. I organized them using various factors, mostly using the factors that I said in section 1, just to give you a quick explanation of my own priorities. For example, Mawika is, of course, I love her as a character, but I also love her kit. The fact that she is meta is like a huge bonus. But if you've seen one of my past videos called Mawika Ruined Me, explaining how I got smitten by Mawika, by her design, by her presentation and her personality first, before even knowing she was going to be this super top meta DPS, which is lucky me. But then we also have Amber here is like the least meta of them all. But, you know, from the same video, you will know that I am an Amber main. Amber will always be one of my first loves in Genshin. So she'll always make it to my own personal list. Even if she doesn't get too much endgame play, she'll always be here. And of course, these are like characters I already built. Benny, Xiangling, Chevrus always gets gameplay use, especially in team comps. Dia, sometimes I use her with Dendro teammates. Toma is great for overload. And Yoimiya, I have her. She's still in level 20 jail. I will build her someday, but it's not yet her time for my account. I don't have Hu Tao. I plan to pull her at least C0, R1, just for the collection. But I do like her personality. I love her story. I like her voice acting especially. And Yanfei should be here. I already have Yanfei kind of semi-built, but I do love her personality as well. I do love the lawyer from Liyue kind of persona that she has. And she's gonna be built one day as well. But for now, her and Hu Tao is gonna be somewhere here. And for the rest of the elements, it's all same explanations. I put at the very top my favorite character overall in terms of personality, gameplay, and all that. Yaimiko here, I just love Yaimiko. Furina, of course, she's my favorite of all time. It's equal with Mawika. Both of them are my top favorites. Skirk, of course, amazing. Chaska, oh my goodness, yeah. I can't wait to get my own C6R5 Chaska. As of this recording, I don't have her yet. Chori, I haven't built her yet. Oh, maybe I should. Maybe I should just put Navia on top here. But yeah, Navia always gets gameplay. Kinich for Dendro always gets gameplay. I don't have Nahida yet. I do have Yao Yao. I don't have Baiju. I want a stronger Dendro lineup. That's why I can't wait for Lauma and potentially Nefer from Nodcry to also be playable. Although there are other Dendro units like Kirara, Kaveh. I'll hate them. I don't know. I'm not really feeling them as characters. Tainari, I have Tainari, just one copy of Tainari. And I haven't built him yet, so that's why he's maybe lower here. But yeah, the first few are the characters I already built. Some are planned to be built. And for example, Faruzan, I don't have any other DPS carry that will want Farzan, but I just want Farzan as a character. I just like her as a character. I like her story. You know, it's one of those cases where if you really want a character to be playable, you will make them playable. You will move heaven and earth to make them part of your meta. Like, for example, Yaimiko. I don't know if she was ever meta, but I love her. I want her to be part of my meta. That's why I got her C3R1. And I'm constantly trying to farm better artifacts for her. But yeah, I think for now, I have good enough artifacts for her that she's now seeing gameplay, especially with Inefa and Xingqiu for taser teams. And of course, don't neglect your Traveler. Your Traveler can always change elements. So it's always a nice wild card, especially for trying to unlock the modes in Imaginarium Theater. So yeah, so many factors have been considered to choose all of these characters. It's all personal preference, meta preference, and just aesthetic preference, personality preference, and then you blend them all together. The result is your personal choice. So this is what it is. It's a combination of all of that. How did you choose your own tier list? Why don't you share about it in the comments? This is my own long-term plan. The characters I keep returning to or plan to build over time. And with the latest Nodcry characters finally teased, this list is still growing. The point isn't to copy this, it's to spark ideas for your own list. And remember, if you don't like this tier list, that's because this is my list. Your list will be different, and I might not like it as well. But the point is, mine is mine, yours is yours. It's purely personal preference. There are no wrong choices. Final thoughts. Play the long game. Genshin's endgame is a marathon, not a sprint. The more you pace yourself, the longer you'll enjoy the game. Take your time, plan smart, build deep, enjoy the ride. You don't have to do it my way, but if my way sparks ideas for your way, then this video did its job. If you're still watching until this part of the video, you are a total champ. Thank you so much for your company. If this sparked ideas for your own Genshin journey, let me know in the comments. And by the way, if you enjoy video game music, such as discussions and performances on violin, do check out my main channel, Lionmight, which focuses on all my musical interests. But if you only like my gaming content, then continue enjoying your stay here in Lionmight Gaming. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!